Never mind what your parents told you. Disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle. When your journey is over and you're safe at home, they promise you'll be stronger, smarter, and just plain better. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now.
I'm a convict. I'm an outlaw. I'm a rebel. I'm not a Sunday school teacher.
No, you're not a Sunday school teacher. You're dead. But we have a live audience, and we'd like to welcome everybody to the show.
Hey, thanks.
You're listening to the Odd Show.
Thanks for coming. This is
it's
going
Thursday.
to pan out to be one of the biggest mistakes you've
an abrupt
made.
stop.
Thank you for that red thing.
Thursday, January 17th, 2019.
Okay. We're live now. You have to just calm down a little bit.
We are in the Freedom Studios on the 15th floor of the Patriot Towers in Liberty City. Where at, Nate?
Ticonderoga, Mexico.
No, I don't think Ticonderoga is in Mexico. Is
That's
it?
where we are. It's kind of like how there's a Midland, Michigan, and a Midland, Texas.
I see.
You see sometimes there's cities that are in multiple states or
Not the same city.
Well, I don't know. I've never been in both at the same time.
No, I know it. You don't know, do you?
I don't know.
That's like the moon's not really there until you look at it.
Right. But then once you look at it, you can't ever know if it was there before you looked at it.
Or afterwards when you unlook at it.
Right.
It's only there when...
Exactly.
Yeah, that's crap, by the way.
But observing it changes it.
That's demonstrably... you can demonstrate that that's not true. La-dee-da.
You can only demonstrate it if I'm looking. All right, let's not do music hour.
What?
You're doing music hour.
You
and
don't like my crooning voice?
I don't think that's necessary.
Did you have a nice week?
Yes.
It's lightly snowing in Mexico.
Yes, it is, which is odd.
It's very odd. They do get snow there, but not everywhere in Mexico. Just like it snows in Arizona, but not everywhere.
Oh.
Elevation. That has a lot to do with it.
It does.
I don't know if you're aware of geography.
It looks like it may be also snowing in Ticonderoga, New York.
Really?
Yeah, which is unique.
I don't think it's unique.
It's kind of unique.
I don't think you know what that means. What does unique mean? One of a kind, and only one.
Here's a little bit of trivia.
Okay. About Ticonderoga?
In New York, not Mexico. I couldn't find much information on Ticonderoga, Mexico.
I wonder why that is.
Ticonderoga is a hamlet in the southeast part of the town of Ticonderoga in Essex County, New York, United States.
Uh-huh. Where else is there a Ticonderoga?
Do you even know what a hamlet is?
A small village?
It became a census-designated place in 2008, so it's relatively new.
Wow.
Relatively newly officially.
In the U.S., there's been hamlets forever.
In Mexico, we're in a hamlet right now.
In Europe.
Did you ever read Hamlet?
I've read parts of Hamlet. And then I saw Lion King, which is a good summary of the story, because Disney stole it from Hamlet.
What? All right.
Be not
Did you have a good week?
Or a lender be.
Did you have a good week?
Yeah, pretty good week. You know, I passed my obstacle that I had a few weeks ago, and
I'm really happy about that. Good job.
Better output. So that's all I'll say about that.
All right. I don't want to talk about that.
So better.
Fine. That's good.
I want to wish my wife a happy anniversary. I hope her and her husband are doing well. I know the husband's not, but no, we will be celebrating this Sunday our 40th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
I don't want to age myself. I'm only 42. I was promised.
It was an arranged
marriage,
and you got traded for 2 goats and a chicken.
It wasn't consummated until I was 7. So
okay.
That's pretty good.
Inappropriate. But
okay.
Right.
40
Is your wife younger than you?
No, she's old. Oh, yeah, she's 2 months younger than me.
Oh,
2
really?
months.
It's that close.
Yep.
Okay.
Same year.
Wow.
A lot of great people were born that year.
Well,
At least two.
and some that weren't so great.
That's always the case.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I've been married longer than you've been alive.
Oh, yeah. A lot longer
Oh,
than I've been.
thanks. What?
Nothing. I'm just saying congratulations,
Just
and I have
feel good
no
for me.
idea what the hell is wrong with your wife.
Well, when she was 13,
All right, let's move on.
she got a head injury.
So what do we? Yeah.
She ain't been right since. AOC. Who's AOC?
Oh, yeah, I feel bad for even putting that in there because it annoys me that people are referring to her. It's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yes, I
She's
hate
the
it.
really sweet
New Democratic freshman.
from New York,
Yeah,
right?
Right.
New York. Yeah.
So we call her Ach.
AOC.
Ach.
I don't know. AOC. I don't. I mean,
AOC.
no,
think
she's
that's
cool.
good.
She's almost as cool as Obama was when he was running.
Nobody can be
Not
that
quite
cool.
not quite as cool. He broke some glass ceilings, but she's coming right after him.
Obama wasn't he the first gay black president?
He was the first gay president, anyway.
Okay. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Oh yeah, Reagan. Forgot about Reagan.
Jeez. Well, Nancy, nothing's happening.
You think that'll make some of our listeners happy?
No, they'll be.
If we talk about gay Reagan.
They just hung up on us.
Look, there's nothing wrong with being gay.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, what did she say?
Well,
AOC.
this is actually old. So this is from
A week or so ago.
the 7th or something, like 10 days. It was before our previous show, I think, that she did this.
Okay.
I just wanted to talk about it, and I was hoping you'd get the soundbite, but I guess I forgot to ask you to do that.
You did.
Okay. Did you get it?
No, I
Oh.
forgot.
Okay.
It slipped my mind.
So she was in an interview, and somebody, the interviewer asked her a question like, well, you said a bunch of things that were, or some things that were incorrect
Right.
in your statement or whatever it was. And she said, well, yeah, I mean, I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, which is cool. And then she said, there's a lot of people more concerned about being precisely, factually, and semantically correct than about being morally right.
I don't even know what that means.
So I know exactly what it means.
Okay, tell me, 'cause-
And as soon as she said this, a lot of people, it got reported on conservative right wing media
Right.
that she said people would rather be morally right than correct, which wasn't actually what she said. But what it means is if she says something like I have hamburgers piled a mile high, like the president said.
Yeah, but that's a that's a figure of speech. I mean, that's
Right, and so then when the Washington Post fact checks it and says, well, actually, it would take 10 million hamburgers to be a mile high, so there were not hamburgers stacked a mile high in the White House. That's what she's saying, is that there's people that...
I think that's a little different.
It's not different. What's different about it?
Well, I think
My whole point is I agree with her.
I understand where you're
completely
going.
agree
I'm
with
just
her.
saying that that's an exaggeration. That's a figure of speech. That's people say what's the word I'm looking for?
Turn of phrase?
No, it's not even turn of phrase.
Not quite.
It's when you there's literal and there's the
Figurative?
figurative, type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a mile pile of hamburgers.
Of course he
it
didn't-
means there was a lot of them.
Of course he didn't
No
mean...
one actually believes that. But when you say something and express it as truthful, and it's not, that's quite different.
Yeah, it may be different. And
If Trump's literally claiming that they were a mile high,
right.
then you call him on that. So,
Oh, sure.
So I think it is important to be precise, factual, semantically correct. I mean,
Of course
to
it's
a lesser
important.
extent.
And she admitted her next line was, of course it's important to be correct, but when I'm incorrect, I correct it or I acknowledge it and then restate what my point actually was.
She doesn't do that, though.
I think she does. And
don't know.
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
think so.
that I agree with her politics or any of her ideas. What I'm saying is I think sometimes, a lot of time, maybe always, it's more important to be morally right than to get the facts straight in the 7,000 versus 7,050 of whatever. I think it is more important to be morally right and to be good people. A lot of times you can do both at the same time.
All right, I'm going to ask you this then, if you want to go down that road.
Okay.
What is moral, and who determines it?
Yeah, we're not going down that road. That's not. But my point is, doing the right thing is more important than whether you know it was 300 people or 379 people. I think doing the right thing is good.
Yeah. So,
and I think that's all she was really saying.
If I went and I fed people, homeless people, right?
How many?
And I gave them food, and I said I fed 3,000 people last night, and I only fed 3. That's fine because I did the morally right thing. I fed 3 people.
No, but I think
that's what you're saying.
No, my point is no. It would not be okay to completely discount everything you've done because you said 3,000 instead of 3.
Yeah, that's my point. My point is I fed 3 people,
that doesn't
so
make
I'm morally
it doesn't
right,
make it okay to
and
lie.
It must be okay. I'm not lying.
Well, if you thought it was 3,000 and it was 3, then all right, fine. We might have other issues
then what's
to talk
truth
about.
and what's factual, right? It's not a lie if
Of
you
course.
believe it.
Well, I don't know if that's true.
And lying is an intentional deceit. To be
Right.
to be wrong and not know it is.
I think
not lying.
I think that's right. I think so. But it's not so black and white. You don't have to.
That's my point. It's not black and white.
That's all I'm saying. But it's not about doing one or the other. We're talking about which is more important. And I think if you're going to get one of them wrong,
so
I would rather you get the statistics wrong than actually do the wrong thing.
It depends on what the outcome is.
Of course.
And what the purpose was.
Intent.
For me, I'm trying to inflate my sense of goodness and morality by saying I fed 3,000 people when I only fed 3.
Right.
Still, it's morally good that I fed 3.
Exactly.
As opposed to none.
Right.
Or feeding nuns instead of priests. Oh, no. All right. All right. Speaking of
I'm saying, I'm just here to defend Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, has a different name. Did you know that?
No, what? She has.
I don't know. She had because you saw that dance video.
I think she has like 50 names.
Did you see the
She's
dance
Hispanic.
video?
They all have like 500 names. Ooh, is that racist? I don't think so.
I didn't hear what you said. I wasn't listening to you.
It's a culture.
I can't find it. I give up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Alexandria is her real name, or she went by a different name in college or something like that.
Maybe it's a stage name.
It might be a stage name because she was in a video dancing. Have you seen the video?
I have not.
You should watch it.
Is it hot?
No.
Okay. Does she dance like what's her face on Seinfeld? Really spastic.
A little bit.
Like Elaine.
A little bit. A little bit. Yeah, it's
You might be too young for that.
It's a pretty good
There
video.
used to be a sitcom called Seinfeld.
Sitcom.
And it had Jerry Seinfeld in it and a few other stars.
What's a sitcom?
A sitcom is short for situation comedy.
Like this show.
Well, it's a situation, all right.
It's going to be.
Oy, oy, oy. Speaking of burgers piled mile high.
I'm just saying, I agree with everything she says. That's all.
I'm going to talk. Well, I'll talk about Clemson football.
Oh, no, I had a bigger point, and you pushed me off of my
I'm
bigger
sorry.
point. My bigger point is whether you agree with her or not, she thinks that being morally right is more important than being factual, which means if you argue facts and statistics with her or any liberal like her, you're never going to get anywhere.
Right.
And I see people posting on Facebook acknowledging that, like, liberals don't listen to the facts, they only listen to emotion. But then they turn around and try to persuade them with facts again. I think.
So what should we do? Persuade them with emotion?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. That's what we should do.
All right.
That's what I've been doing with you for years.
But I thought they have different emotions than normal people.
Well, of course.
Okay.
You have to figure out how to,
So
get them to listen.
when you do that, you will rise to power and be the Antichrist. So you should get on that. But bum. Nothing?
Oh, that was a joke?
No. It was a little bit of prophecy and a little bit of joke. God help you if you
Become the Antichrist?
become the Antichrist and leader of the world. Can I go back to Clemson now?
I told you my.
Speaking Antichrist.
I told you my plan for becoming president.
No. Well, you may have. I don't remember.
I did. It was very memorable. It was a great plan. Foolproof.
Okay.
I'm not telling everyone.
Oh, okay.
But I'm executing it behind the scenes.
Is there executions involved?
There's many ways to become president.
There are. Yeah.
I mean, it may be called king at that time.
Eventually.
But it's the same thing. Whatever. All right, let's move on now. I'm done. Speaking of the president.
No, we're talking about Clemson
Speaking
football.
of cheeseburger.
Can I go with Clemson? Clemson football.
Roll Tide.
National. No. Yeah, they rolled over the Roll Tide, which I'm glad. I hate Nick Saban, and we'll get a lot of viewers in the South that are going to.
I don't know if we'll get a lot of viewers in the South that hang up on us.
Probably not. They already have years ago. I just don't like what Nick Saban did to Michigan State. But
can you stop banging on the table, please?
Yeah, sorry.
I'm going to get you mittens. Very thick mittens.
So the Clemson quarterback, 6'6", weighs about 80 pounds. He looks like an albino vampire. If you ever look at him, he's got the long, scraggly black hair. He looks either like a Viking vampire or like Count Dracula type warrior.
Does he
from
wear a
the
tuxedo?
14th century. No, he doesn't. But he goes, whoa! But he has this very angular.
One.
And a one, and a two. That's how he'd count, too. A hike. That's not funny. Anyways.
Yes, it is.
National champions of football, college football, and professional, go to the White House. They get a dinner.
Well, they get invited.
An audience of some sort.
Yep.
And because of the shutdown, they don't have any cooks there, apparently.
Yeah, how is Trump eating? I don't understand.
He goes to McDonald's.
Is he hungry?
He's not hungry. Never hungry. So, Donald being Donald, he thought it would be very generous with his own money. He went out and bought hundreds and hundreds of fast food meals, put them up on a really beautiful table in the White House with golden candelabras and beautiful lighting, and they had waiters there and servers there in tuxedos. I don't know what they were serving since it was all self-serve.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. Okay.
And there were burgers a mile high.
That's what he said. And then it was fact-checked.
Actually, literally, there were some that were a foot high.
There were. Did you see some of the pictures of the football players taking a stack of Big Macs? It's amazing.
I think there was more positive from the players than there was negatives.
Oh.
But the left was just absolutely embarrassed and shocked by it. But
I wasn't a football player in college. I mean, I probably could have dominated the team at the school I went to, but
instead you dominated the links when you played golf.
Not in college.
Oh, not in college. I'm sorry, high school.
I did.
Your college didn't have a football team.
Played a lot of drums in college.
Okay.
Intramural.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tails? Or was it tackle? It was tails, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Small. And it was co-ed engineering. So I could have won.
Oh yeah. Well, you just identify as a woman.
It was co-ed. I wouldn't need to. You know what co-ed means?
Not exactly.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to explain it. Ask your daughter. What was I saying?
Dominating football and McDonald's, and going to the White House and eating, and a lot of the football players loved the food, and you weren't.
Oh yeah, in college I loved McDonald's. I mean, that would have been great. Yeah. I can't imagine. And the stories that you could tell, like, hey, I went White House dinner. What'd you have? Big Mac?
Yeah, Big Mac.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Did you see the meme? It was a waiter or something, like, crying, and he said, well, I guess we could use the Lincoln gravy boats for McDonald's buffalo sauce, because they did. They had the nice silver gravy boats just piled with sauces. Sauce packets.
It's nice. That was from the Lincoln era. But
can you believe how much crap? I mean, I believe it, but how much the liberal media just nailed him for buying McDonald's? If he wouldn't have paid for it, they would have gotten nothing.
Well, wasn't there a time where Obama bought a bunch of fast food for some group?
Yeah, he went into like a Five Guys and bought them for everyone in there.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, he's a great guy. Look at a down-to-earth, cool guy. He's a man of the people.
But now Trump trying to give football players heart attacks.
They can do that with the cocaine they do.
Especially at Clemson, right?
Right, at Clemson.
Jeez.
They have a major in coke.
Trump did say, he tweeted or whatever, saying that there was a lot of pizza. I didn't see any pizza in any of the pictures.
Well, it's hard to say. It's very flat.
The pizza?
It doesn't stand out. So you can't.
Yeah, it must have been behind the
highs of
the Whoppers.
Yeah.
I'm jealous now. Now I want to win a national title.
Well, you're still young. There's hope for you.
When I'm king, I'll make my own.
Maybe one of your kids will win a national championship, and then you can go on their coattails.
Did their parents get to go?
I don't know.
All right. Well,
probably not.
Good for Trump on that one.
What do you want to talk about? The State of the Union?
What if he built a wall out of Whoppers?
Nobody could get through them after a few weeks. It'd be hard as cement.
That is the thing that I'll say. I don't know if you've ever gotten much fast food and left it sit out for a couple hours.
Yes.
It's not that great.
No, it's not.
It gets all soggy, especially if it has lettuce on there. I don't think it was very fresh when they ate it.
It gets really hard.
Yeah, depending. Yeah.
What it is.
Yeah, it's got about a 10-second fresh
life shelf.
Yeah.
Or shelf life. You want to?
Oh no, the shelf life
forever
is
yes,
forever.
Right. Forever, yeah. But what is it? Best used by?
Yeah.
Best used by 30 seconds. That's why I see people woofing them down.
That's right. Oh no, it's because it's so delicious.
Yeah, and you got to eat it fast or it chokes you to death.
All right, let's move on. More Trump.
All right, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the State of the Union address that's coming up on January 29th.
Or is it?
I think it is.
I heard there was a letter from Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, and I'll make it bigger for you. Did I make it bigger?
No,
you want to read that?
Oh, you moved it. Why are you doing that?
Okay.
Where is it?
It's right
you want
there.
me to read it?
Sure.
Dear Mr. President, because you can't read, can you?
Not very
well.
well.
By all these years.
No.
On January 3rd, it was my privilege as Speaker to invite you to deliver the State of the Union address on January 29th.
So far, very nice.
The Constitution calls for the President to, from time to time, give the Congress information of the State of the Union.
Yeah, it's nice.
During the 19th century and up until the presidency of Woodrow Wilson, horrible president, these annual State of the Union messages were delivered to Congress in writing.
Okay. History, all right.
And since the start of modern budgeting in fiscal year 1977, a State of the Union address has never been delivered during a government shutdown.
Huh.
How many government shutdowns have there been
since 1977?
And during the time that you would do a State of the Union address?
Probably none.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
In September 2018, Secretary Nielsen designated State of the Union addresses as National Special Security Events, NSSEs, as you know, recognizing the need for the full resources of the federal government to be brought to bear.
Well, I don't know if that's true.
To ensure the security of these events.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's true.
Of course, it's not true.
Okay.
I'm
starting to detect a tone now.
The extraordinary demands presented by NSSEs require weeks of detailed planning, with dozens of agencies working together to prepare for the safety of all participants.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. Secret Service was designated as the lead federal agency responsible for coordinating, planning, exercising, and implementing security for national special security events by public law, blah, blah, blah.
That just makes sense.
However, both the U.S. Secret Service and Department of Homeland Security have not been funded for 26 days now, with critical departments hamstrung by furloughs. Sadly, given the security concerns, and this is longer than I thought, and unless government reopens this week, I suggest that we work together to determine another suitable date after government has reopened for this address, or for you to consider delivering your State of the Union address in writing to the Congress on January 29th. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Sincerely, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House.
Yeah, nice letter. Yeah.
It's a great letter. So I have several questions.
Learned a lot of history.
Several questions. I'll start with this one. She says it takes weeks to plan this event. The government's only been shut down for 3 weeks, almost 4. Are you telling me there's been no planning so far?
Right.
I bet they have it planned out already.
Yeah. It's probably
Secondly,
it's just like last year's.
Are you telling me that the Secret Service isn't staffed enough to keep the president safe right now?
And other people.
Because that's ridiculous.
All participants.
I understand.
Not just the president.
If there's any part of the government that we probably have designated as essential, it's security.
It's probably Secret Service.
I'm guessing so. I don't know if I agree with it or not, but I'm guessing they're staffed plenty to keep the president and others safe.
Yeah.
Absolutely think so. But also the weeks of planning. She says if we open the government this week, they could still do it.
But
what about the weeks of planning?
yeah, I don't know.
Because we don't have weeks until now and then.
Yeah.
This doesn't make a lot of sense.
Couldn't he just deliver it from his Oval Office, which is very secure?
Yes, I think he could. I think that would be fine.
Or
the Constitution says he has to give the information to Congress.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like
Well-
a video feed?
Yeah, why don't you do a video feed?
I don't know. Just post it on YouTube. I heard a suggestion that I think is amazing. He should tweet it out line by line.
That'd take a long time, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but he's on there always. That'd be great.
Right.
That would be amazing. I don't think he'll do that.
So what happened? Did that intimidate Trump? Did
Well,
that get
you
the
know
desired
how
effect?
how Trump gets intimidated, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it did,
Why is that?
because he wrote a letter to Nancy Pelosi today.
Oh, he did.
Do you want me to read this one too? 'Cause-
Sure,
Okay,
it's
I feel
much
like
shorter.
Is it? Well, it is because Trump wrote it. Dear, no, geez,
Bigly, it's the best letter.
is that Madam with an E on
It
the
would
end?
be. Yeah. Jeez, yes.
Madame.
It's Madam.
Dear Madam
is
Speaker.
the head of a whorehouse.
Not spelled like that.
I think it is.
Due to the shutdown, I'm sorry to inform you that your trip to Brussels, Egypt, and Afghanistan has been postponed. We will reschedule this 7-day excursion when the shutdown is over. In light of the 800,000 great American workers not receiving pay, I don't know, I'm sure you would agree that postponing this public relations event is totally appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel that during this period, it would be better if you were in Washington negotiating with me and joining the strong border security movement to end the shutdown.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, if you'd like to make your journey by flying commercial, that would certainly be your prerogative.
Uh-huh.
I look forward to seeing you soon, and even more forward to watching our open and dangerous southern border finally receive the attention, funding, and security it so desperately deserves. Sincerely, Squiggles.
That's his nickname, by the way. I think that's a Secret Service code name for him, is Squiggles.
Uh-oh. And I knew it, and now they're
Now they got to kill you.
he's knocking on the door. So, I mean, this seems super childish, but it's amazing. I love
It's
it.
funny.
He didn't mention her letter to
No.
he was just like, "Oh, you remember that vacation you were going on? Canceled. Sorry.
It's
Sorry
not
about
It's
that."
not a vacation.
No,
it's a
it's
working trip.
Public relations event,
Yeah.
he called it.
And the Brussels, she said, was only for the pilot to get rest.
Really?
Yeah, she said that. Well, they're just stopping in Brussels. Well, her staff said that.
Here's the thing. He sent that this morning.
Yeah.
She was scheduled to take off at 3 p.m. today.
Right.
So it was like last minute.
So did she go?
I don't know.
Okay,
Did she?
I don't know.
That would have been good.
To have on the show. Did Nancy go? And you've got all Nancy Sinatra
Oh,
videos.
jeez. So I tried a Nancy Pelosi trip.
Yeah.
And the first,
Search response.
First Lady Melania flies to Florida on government jet after Trump postpones Speaker Nancy Pelosi's trip to Afghanistan due to shutdown.
Who what news agency?
CNBC.
Oh, sure, of course.
What do you think? I wonder if there's a cost difference between the First Lady flying to Florida and Speaker of the House flying to 3 foreign countries in the Middle East.
Using military planes.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think there's a difference, yeah. Games.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It is games for sure.
But did Nancy leave today on a military
I don't know. It
government
doesn't
plane?
say. Doesn't say if she went. I bet she didn't. You know why? Because she spent all of her money on that trip to Hawaii that she took during the shutdown.
Is she one of the Dems that we'll talk about later that went to Puerto Rico?
Oh, probably not.
Oh, she should have.
Interesting. So that's funny. I think it's hilarious. I think Trump will deliver State of the Union. I know there's a lot of people that think he shouldn't because it would like show them. But I think the reason she wants him to postpone it is it's another opportunity for him to get a ton of press, and It's an event that they stream live, unlike a lot of the things where they report on what he did. It's streamed live, and everybody watches it live, so you don't get the CNN and MSNBC spin on it because it's live. It's an opportunity for him to tell the truth about the Democrats, I guess. So I think it's good. I think she's scared. I think it's funny.
I think so, too. How are we doing on time?
Oh, it's break time by far.
Well, you know what that means.
We just going to go right into the break?
No, we can't do that. We have
Okay.
trivia. Now, this trivia question's an easy one.
Nothing.
Okay. Where in Virginia did General Robert E. Lee surrender to the Union Army in 1865? And for extra credit, name the private that held Lee's horse. That's a joke. I don't know who that was. But where in Virginia? And it was in Virginia. Not West Virginia, which wasn't. Well, it was may have been just established then. Maybe not. It was called Northern Virginia, I think.
All right, we'll be right. What?
That's it. So where did Lee surrender to Grant?
All right, we'll be right back.
Lock it in. And rip the knob off. Red State Talk Radio.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
You know advertising works, and as you listen to this right now, so are others. Advertising on the internet is a proven way to get your message out there. So if you have a business or some message you want to get out, why not advertise on At Odds? Our rates are reasonable, and we can create and record an ad for you at no charge. If you already have a 15, 30, or 60-second audio ad, we can play it on our show. At Odds can be heard on Red State Talk Radio, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and you can watch it on our YouTube channel. You can mail us at talk@oddshow.com, and we can discuss and personalize an ad campaign for you today.
It's a bumpy ride through the political jungle with Nate and Brian.
Whenever I'm feeling a little down under, I can always count on Nate and Brian for their interesting perspective on topics important to freedom and civil rights by listening to the At Odds Show. Nate and Brian cover important topics with insight, intelligence, and of course humor. I can always expect a laugh or two. So if you want to be informed and have a great time, give these guys a listen.
At Odds.
The At Odds Show with the greatest political talk show hosts in history, Nate and Brian. And it's sad that they actually believe that. So give a listen because the delusional need love too.
Are you looking for some way cool t-shirts? Check out ChugDug.com. They have hundreds of crazy fun t-shirts like gun, patriotic, and you better believe zombie shirts. At ChugDug.com, you'll find quality shirts at a quality price. All shirts start at just $10 with free shipping over $50. Mention Radio 1 coupon code at checkout and grab a cool 10% off. That's ChugDug.com. T-shirts with attitude.
Hi, I'm Brian.
And I'm Nate.
If you like the At Odds Show,
And we know you do.
Why not order your very own At Odds t-shirt sizes small to 6XL in a cool black color?
So support our show. Check out the great prices at chugdug.com or head over to our website, atoddshow.com, and click the link.
And, unlike listening to our show, you won't be disappointed.
Hello, my name is Don. After you reboot your computer, you should listen to the At Odds Show.
That's not
What
racist.
was the question?
Where in Virginia did General Robert E. Lee surrender to the Union Army in 1865?
We got a few guesses
Yeah.
through our different things.
Ticonderoga?
Ticonderoga was one, but it was a joke, and that was not funny, Jeff. Tallahassee, Mexico City,
Okay.
Detroit, New Jersey.
None of those are in Virginia.
New Jersey. Colorado.
That's, yeah, okay.
Appomattox.
That is correct.
Is that it?
Ding, ding, ding,
All
ding.
right.
For extra credit.
Extra credit.
Who was the name of the private that held General Lee's horse
Yeah.
when he went in to sign?
It was Harold Horseholder.
Yeah, a
Was
long
the
line
name of
of
the private?
horse holders. The family is well known in Virginia. So Lee surrenders his 28,000 troops to Union General Ulysses S. Grant,
That's a lot of
effectively
troops.
ending the American Civil War. Forced to abandon the Confederate capital of Richmond, blocked from joining the surviving Confederate forces in North Carolina, and harassed constantly by Union cavalry, Lee had no other option.
Harassed.
So where did the two generals meet in Appomattox? I always thought it was the courthouse.
Probably the bar.
The two generals met in the parlor of Wilmer McLean home at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Like someone's house?
Yes, in the parlor.
Nobody has parlors anymore.
Well, no. Yeah, not too often. This day in history, this is interesting to you because you actually earned varsity letters in the sport in high school.
Oh.
Because on January
Bad man.
17th, in 1916, a group of professional golfers and several leading amateur golfers gathered at the Taplow Club in New York City.
Oh, wow.
In a meeting that will result in the founding of Professional Golfers Association, the PGA. Now, this is interesting because I like this guy. The meeting occurred at the invitation of Rodman Wanamaker, the son of the pioneering founder of Wanamaker's department stores, now what? Macy's.
Macy's.
He believed that golf needed an official organization to promote interest in the game. Wanamaker invited a group of players, including the celebrated Walter Hagen, and other representatives of the sport to the Taplow Club for an exploratory meeting. They gathered there for several more meetings, and it was on April 10th, 1916, that PGA was officially established with 35 charter members. Wanamaker proposed that the newly formed organization hold an annual tournament and offered to donate money for a trophy and prize. First championship took place at the Sinwano Country Club in Bronxville, New York. You know who won?
No. Wanamaker?
No, James M. Brown defeated Jacques Hutchinson in the championship.
All right.
Guess how much he won?
$2.
$2,580.
Wow.
Which in today's dollars is $35,000.
Not bad. I mean, not great for a PGA win.
The first
but
one, not bad.
For the first one, yeah, I would have expected him to not be paid at all.
Now each summer, top golfers compete at a different outstanding course for one of golf's most prestigious awards. You want to know what the name of the trophy is?
The Golf Award.
No, it's the Wanamaker Trophy.
Oh, that makes sense. Interesting.
Wanamaker, I sure do.
So Macy's is still around.
Yeah, it is. It is.
They need to step up their game, though, because I think they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
I think so. I wonder if do they support any major golf tournaments?
That's a really good question. They better.
I bet they don't.
Macy's Golf
Tournament
sponsorship.
Golf is spelled with a G.
They sell golf clothes.
I bet they do. You can get the Wanamaker polo shirt. All right. You keep looking
I don't see anything. But
Okay.
maybe they just are
They don't. Still surviving the shutdown. You want to talk about some of the effects of the shutdown?
I'm just saying. I think Macy's forgot the internet exists, and they're
Maybe.
not going to do well.
All dang kids and their machines. I remember back in '06.
Can you look that up on
before the PGA was formed. '16, not just in 16.
The shutdown. We should have led with this. Yes, I'm still surviving. What about it?
Well, there's some effects that people are proposing.
There are some effects. Yeah,
25% of realtors said the government shutdown has dissuaded their clients from buying homes, either because of delays in getting finance or concerns about economic environment. Auto dealers were hard hit in the Washington, D.C. area, but they're letting government customers pay later for service work.
That's nice.
Well, and they in their comment was, this has happened before, and we've dealt with it, and we'll...
And we know they'll get paid, and also Trump just signed a bill that said they will get paid. Right. So,
thousands of federal vendors facing a dry spell if their contracts aren't renewed, and the businesses who depend on federal workers being on the job. That's an issue of privatizing work for government jobs, which may be a good thing, maybe not. Depends on what they're contracted for.
It's an issue of having all your eggs in one basket. I guess if you rely on the federal government, that's a risk.
A lot of a lot of people aren't benefiting from the loan forbearance program because banks are now offering to anyone with a federal ID, making it more likely.
Right, and these are contractors, so they're not actual federal employees.
Right. Yeah. White House estimates delays to federal contractors will create a $93 million per day, think of that, hit to the economic growth. And the Council of Economic Advisors says that shutdowns impact projections would be 0.1% every week loss.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's the GP.
Well, no, they revised it. They doubled the impact from 0.1% every 2 weeks to 0.1% every week.
I just gave
that's double.
Recent. Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Look, I don't want. We said it last week. I don't want anybody to be hurt by something like this.
Right.
But when you rely on the government for anything,
there's
it's
always
a huge
that chance.
risk.
Yeah.
Huge risk.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess. I think it'd be great if all of these federal employees went and got jobs in the private sector, and then the federal government couldn't backfill the positions, and we'd all be better off for it.
And I don't know. And, you hear a lot about, federal employees, they make, the average, making $120,000 a year. But there's a lot of federal employees that are making $30,000 a year, and a lot of them are just starting out and have no financial backup, and so those people are also hurting.
Yeah, there's an impact for sure.
Somebody just starts with the federal government, and they get 2 paychecks, and all of a sudden they're not getting any paychecks, and they just just rented an apartment or whatever, and times are tough.
I got an email from my bank that said, if you're affected by the shutdown, we will
work with you,
postpone any of your loan payments or whatever.
That's nice.
So I replied and said, yeah, I'm a federal employee.
Yeah. How's that working out?
Great so far. They haven't checked it yet.
Do you want to talk about Gillette, or do you want to talk about the new Brazilian president?
Oh, I thought that was going a different direction. I mean, Gillette's more timely.
What do you mean?
Nobody cares about Brazil.
Well, I think millions of people do. The Brazilians.
If you're a Brazilian, call in.
God, look at the phone lines that just lit up. No, the new president says he's going to relax civilian gun laws.
Good.
And allow more people to be able to buy and possess firearms, creating
that'll be great.
Sort of a shell issue type of system instead of the may issue now. Of course, the Liberal Party in Brazil are against it, saying that only his political cronies will get guns, but that's the way it's always been. People in power.
It'd be real cool if they would go ahead and relax their import laws too. That would be helpful.
And considering Taurus is one of their major manufacturers
in Brazil.
Yep. Yeah.
That's going to be good for Taurus, potentially.
I would think so, yeah.
I don't know what relaxing them means, though.
Well, you can read the article, but like I said, right now it's May issue, and it's really stringent. And he's going to make it more like Shell issue. You don't have to have an absolute rock solid reason.
Like in Washington, D.C., how they're handling
probably
that
more
really
like
well.
that. Yeah, it'll be tough. You'll have some hoops to go through, but you might be able to get the permit and the guns. Right now, it's like you can only buy one gun a year.
But it sounds like
that.
a good
it's in the right direction because and remember, Brazil is a high crime rate. A lot of murders in Brazil.
Yep.
A lot of those videos that people see where somebody goes in and robs a convenience store and one of the customers pulls a gun and shoots them dead. A lot of those are in Brazil, and the people that are shooting them dead are police officers.
Yeah,
because they're the only ones allowed to carry guns. But
good. Good. Hopefully, the new president stays president for a while. Then, if he's going to move in that direction,
he'll be shot.
All right. So, what's this? We're talking about Gillette.
Yeah, Gillette. Oh, I spelled it wrong. I got it 3 G's or 3 L's.
3 L's.
It's been talked about to death, but their ad they got a new ad, and people are saying, well, Gillette's blaming men for being men, and it's toxic masculinity, and you got to stop that. And
I think you just violated their whole point when you said blaming men for being men. That's their point. That's saying that men are men is not appropriate.
It's not acceptable
it's
excuse.
Not acceptable anymore.
Boys being boys.
Right. Like in the video, those two boys wrestling.
And other people.
Have you watched it?
Yeah. Other people have said it's it's really just about bullying.
Right, but it wasn't.
I don't think
it wasn't about bullying. That's what I'm. There was bullying. Bullying was a part of it, for sure. And
because that's toxic.
I kind of agree with the message.
But it's odd how many girls bully other girls to the point where they kill themselves. So,
right, I saw Tampax.
It's not sexist.
I saw Tampax is coming out with a anti-toxic femininity ad.
Toxic shock?
No, they're coming out. No,
you understand that, right? That was a good joke.
It wasn't a good joke at all.
Okay,
my joke was about them doing the same thing except for women.
Right.
It was a funny joke.
Yeah.
You stepped all over it. Now I'm disappointed.
Mine's better with toxic shock.
I think I'm going to start bullying you.
You're going to start? God. All right. We've talked. Go ahead.
Did you see the picture of the? I think it was maybe a rally car or something.
Yeah, it was some promotional event.
A whole bunch of women,
skin tight blue, like latex suits,
body suits with Gillette right across their butts, all of them.
Yeah. They could put it across their back, or down an arm sleeve. Gillette.
You're not telling me that the outfit and the placement of Gillette's name was intentional, are you?
I don't see how it could be. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it must have just been a coincidence.
So maybe Gillette should clean their own
house. But hey, that's
first.
consistent and not hypocritical at all.
Yeah, maybe they should take care of their own house first. Okay, but you know what Gillette is getting?
Business.
A lot of publicity.
Have you seen Nike's results? I think they're doing okay since their whole Colin Kaepernick thing.
I like capers. They're salty. All right, so do we want to move on? How much time? We got time.
Yeah, we've got 5 minutes or so.
Let's do this real quick because we've talked about this. People have speculated about Senator Graham, a single bachelor from the South that has a very gentlemanly, effeminate manner to them.
We've never speculated about him.
People are saying, for years that he's a closeted gay man. And he may or may not be. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But apparently there's a hard left Democrat from Minnesota who's facing backlash for being homophobic after speaking baseless allegations pushed by the MSNBC and liberal activists that Senator Graham is somehow being blackmailed into supporting President Trump.
Blackmailed? With what?
We don't know. Alec, I don't know. But
Well, John Cooper said
he's not alone because Republican freshman lawmaker Ihan Omar and a close ally of AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
he's a Republican.
Was condemned Tuesday after claiming Graham was compromised.
REP is for representative, not Republican. He's not.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's a Democrat. Representative, right. I'm sorry. Omar was responding to a video that suggested Graham pivoted from being a Trump critic to one of the president's biggest supporters, saying, they got him. He is compromised. Now, that's not all, because MSNBC anchor Stephanie Rule came under fire for implying that Graham was being blackmailed by Trump over something pretty extreme. So maybe he's not gay. Maybe he has a thing for fish, like the Simpsons episode with that actor, Troy McClure, who had a thing for fish.
Yeah,
a scandal.
I get it.
Okay, so something pretty extreme. And John Cooper, chairman of the Democratic Coalition, a PAC.
Super PAC.
What did he say? He just pushed it on Twitter, saying Graham is kowtowing to Trump.
Kowtowing.
Yeah, kowtowing.
This is why you have me read things, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And indirectly, Putin, because he's being blackmailed over some pretty serious sexual kink, in quotes.
Fish.
That's what I'm thinking. There are some beautiful fish out there.
So I didn't see anything in here that said anything about him being gay. So was that your question?
Right. I have a question
gay?
mark there.
Oh, that you were. I thought some of these other people were saying he
was
gay.
Well, of course they're insinuating that. Well, something.
And Trump knows that for some reason.
Something.
They had some private meetings.
Get some something.
And
wouldn't that be great if Trump was gay? God, that'd be cool. It'd explain a lot.
Was Lindsey Graham in the hotel room with Trump and Stormy Daniels?
I doubt it. If you wouldn't have had the devil's threesome there, I would say he was in there with Trump, but not with Stormy, too. Why'd you have to bring her? I thought this was just going to be you and I.
Sounds just like...
He's just a sweet little man. I mean, he's just a sweet Southern man that's very fragile.
Look, it could be true, but he came out swinging awfully hard during the Brett Kavanaugh hearings.
Yeah, that's what really pissed him off.
And I think that's what happened is he finally got a little bit of a backbone and said, this is ridiculous, and it finally clicked for him. I think if Trump was blackmailing him and some of this was true, he may have switched and become a supporter, or not so anti-Trump. I don't think he would have went from anti to just 100%.
Well, the thing is, other than that, what else has he done to support him? I haven't heard anything.
He has said some things. I'm not sure where he stands on the wall.
Yeah.
But actually, I think he said that we were wrong for pulling the troops out of Syria, maybe. So he may have went against Trump there. So look for some news from Trump about Lindsey Graham's
aquarium
preference.
He's got a beautiful aquarium. It's huge.
So we're almost out of time.
So you can pick it. You want to talk about Rand Paul?
One of our
socialist listeners?
Probably, I'd say he's in our top 10 of favorites.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say where in that range, but
right.
Danny Griffin, he in the chat, he said a better bonus question to your trivia question would have been what thing was ironic about the signing at Appomattox, and we're talking about the truce.
Yeah, the surrender
of General Lee. What was ironic about them signing it where they did? And what was ironic is that
because
farmer
it started there.
No, the farmer that lived there.
Yeah,
I think the house that they signed it in the parlor. He moved his family there.
Oh, that's right. That's
to
right.
Avoid
to
get
away from the war. Yeah,
and
right.
It kind of ended there, which is interesting.
I remember that.
So that is ironic. We are out of
Thanks,
time.
Danny.
See you next week.
All right. Bye-bye.